How's it going, everybody? Rybrazer here today, and we are back with our Honolulu Hammerheads franchise mode. And in year number 2, we are in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we will be taking on the Boston Bruins in Boston to start. But guys, before we get this one started, can we get up to 10 likes on the Hammerhead series in year number 2? We've already taken a franchise, an expansion franchise into the playoffs. I'm super excited for it. Also, I would like our logo not to be blurry down there. Come on, NHL, what's up? And I think, we might have a decent chance. We're listed as a contender, not a champion, so we're not quite the best that there is to offer. But let's go ahead and see what Boston's going to throw at us, and then we'll compare that to what we have. So Boston obviously has the best first line in the game, even with Bergeron getting up there and dropping a little bit to an 88. Then they've got DeBrusk, Krejci, and Corey Perry. Corey Perry, they actually went out and got Corey Perry, who's played quite well. He's a -1, so that might be a line to go after. I think our second line's pretty good, too. Anders Bjork, Danton Heinen, Brock McGinn. Very solid there. Bjork seems to be playing well. And then Gauntz, Corrali, and Ritchie. So nobody down there is really too... I mean, Sean Corrali is doing pretty good. He's got 6 points. But it's really this first line is the one thing we got to worry about. Defensively, they got Krug and McAvoy, a really solidified, a bona fide 1-2, a lefty and a righty, just a ridiculous 1-2. But after that, it is then Chara and Josh Manson, who they went out and I guess acquired. And then John Moore and Uro Vakanainen. So it's solid. It's a kind of team that from top to bottom, you really don't identify a weakness. I mean, maybe the second line's just performance, being a minus. I don't know what to say. And then in goal, Tuukka Rask, who's played, okay. 907's not fantastic. 255. You usually expect your goalie to play a little bit better than that in the playoffs. And Michael Norvrith as their backup, who actually got some game time. So interesting. Scratch, they have Grzelcyk, I think, David Backes, and Marcus Kruger. So nobody that I'm too scared of if they're going to go ahead and sub them in. Nobody that seems like they're going to really threaten us. And then now let's go ahead and take a look at our lines. So we also have a very good first line. It's not exactly up to the par of theirs. They had 93, I think 93. Their first line was ridiculous. But we do have Joel Iginla with Braden Point and Brock Besser. So our lineup doesn't exactly score a ton, but I expect this second line to do very well. Mike Hoffman, Eric Stahl, and Chris Kreider. Eric Stahl was probably the best draft pick for this team possible. He's been killing it on the second line in both seasons. He's just been great in both seasons. 79, and this year 83 points plus 31. Get some more help around him. And in the playoffs, he's been immense, a point per game as well. So Eric Stahl's really, really helping this top 6 be scary. Our bottom 6, it's average. I wouldn't say it's too threatening. I mean, they definitely have the better third line center. But we got Lawson Krause, Anthony Cirelli, and Kasperi Kapanen, which seems to be a line that does do well plus minus. Our second line, same. And then our first line, like I've been saying, we're just a depth team where we've gotten here because our team is just up and down. We got guys that perform. And then on the fourth line, DiGiuseppe, Chandler Stevenson, and Zach Aston Reese. They've been okay. I mean, they really haven't done anything. Lineup management is defensive, so I mean, these guys playing defensive, which is fine. On defense, we've gone ahead and before the season started, acquired Rasmus Dahlin, and he's been great for us in the playoffs. 10 points. And then he's paired with Brandon Montour, who we went out and acquired. We made a lot of changes in our franchise mode with the defense here. We had Schultz, and we're keeping Schultz, but we had Shattenkirk as well to be his partner. That didn't work. And then we went out and acquired Colin Miller as well. So Gustafsson and Schultz, a really good plus minus. They don't seem to get scored on a ton and seem to be out there for goals, not really getting the points, but hey, as long as they're not out there for goals against. And this third pairing, well, it's not great. Colin Miller, not the greatest acquisition. Still got another year left as $3.875 million deal. So we'll see. Maybe Hayden Fleury's time is up. It's not because he's still signed. So we'll see going into next season what we want to do. But I'm not going to talk about next season. The only guy that we really need to worry about there is Montour. In goal, we got Pekka Rinne, who's been absolutely amazing. He's that 38-year-old veteran presence. This is probably his last chance, and I think he's playing like he knows it. Let's see if he can keep it up here in the Stanley Cup Finals, and maybe he can get a Stanley Cup for himself, get himself a ring here. All right, game number 1 against Boston. In Boston, can we get ourselves off to a great start? I would absolutely love to win game number 1. It will put us in a great position, obviously, but just it's the kind of game where it'll set the tone for the series and really give me a glimpse of how it's going to simulate overall. But first period, all right, and Heinen and then Pasternak. So As I kind of expected, their third line, our second line, and then their power play. They just have too deadly. We can't be taking penalties. Second period, though, sees more of the same. A power play again. Kreider, our second line, and their second line actually does step up. 4-2 Boston, though, as they do have a plethora of the shots here. We are pulling it back a little bit, so if we can get one here in the first half of the period, that would set us up for a really good opportunity to come back and maybe force overtime. We can't do anything there in the first half of the period, although you can tell we are putting the pressure on as we've pretty much equalized in shots. Boston's starting to pull away, and with 3 minutes left, I don't think it's going to happen. 2 minutes, 1 minute. And that's all she wrote for game number 1. Boston does win 4-2. Tuukka Rask puts up a great performance. Corey Perry gets the third star, and Kreider gets 2 points there. So the second line played well. The first line, I mean, it was really the power play was the difference. Pecorine is gaining morale. That's great, bud. I'm glad you're really happy after a 4-2 loss. I'm glad the whole team is happy after a 4-2 loss because we can't get down on ourselves. I'm not going to talk like that. We can't get down on ourselves. We're still in it. It's one game. We got 6 more to prove it. We just need to win 4. Let's go. First period. You're certainly not going to win it with a first period like that. Perry, Bjork, Gauntz, and then Marchand. So it wasn't even their first line. It was their bottom. It was their depth that actually got to us. Second period, 4-0. I'm just going to quick sim the third, and it's a 5-2 period. So Marchand makes it 5. We finally decide to try put up 2 goals there, and it's a 5-2 loss, and it is time to make some line changes. It really doesn't seem like the bottom 6 is doing well at all. Do we have anybody scratched? Ryder and Ferk. Tobias Ryder played 18 games this season, was a +3. So we're going to try Ryder there probably instead of, I mean, it's not really the bottom line's fault. These guys lost a ±. The second line's fine. The first line, I don't know what to do. I can't really take point. I'm going to move Kreider up. I know it gets rid of the +3. Let's see. Wait, if I move Hoffman up, and do one of those. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Kreider, and then we finally got right wing, left wing, center. There we go. Hoffman's moving up. We're going to give that a shot. Give Hoffman some more ice time. Defensively, these guys are actually a plus, so the bottom is fine. It's the top, apparently. So we're going to make that one change, moving Hoffman up and Brock Besser down, because Besser hasn't scored too much. And if we can, like I said, their weak spot is their second line. So if we can target their second line with our second line, then we'll be golden. Because Kreider and Stahl have done okay against that second line. But now we're finally back at home. Boston's got to fly all the way out to Honolulu, Hawaii, and hopefully we can win and not go down 3-0. First period, we go up 3-1. Hoffman pays dividends immediately. Besser then scores on the power play. Iginla then scores. So wow, that first line seems to be doing well, and they match us with another power play goal. In the second period, we score 2 more. Brock Besser scores, and Zach Aston Reese on the fourth line adds just a little bit more. So it seems like the second line, like the even strength seems to have worked out. Brock Besser with 2 goals now. And in the third period, we go ahead and score 2 more as Chris Kreider scores, and we win 7-1. We Braziled them, boys. All right. And we're not going quietly. It is 2-1. Home ice advantage really does play a factor so far in the series. Braden Point now with 22 and 19, so that's very good. Colin Miller, apparently the third pairing, is playing quite well, and the locker room chemistry has gone up, even though it's still at a 70%. Interesting. All's for naught, though. If we drop this one, can we equalize the series? Huge, absolutely huge. Game number 4, pivotal. Could turn the series one way or another. In the first period, though, and it looks like Chandler Stevenson in the fourth line is going to get it done for us here in period number 1, 14-7 in shots. In the second period, though, they take the lead, Bergeron and Richie, but Chandler Stevenson says no. Honolulu will not go down. And Pasternak scores just as I hit start, but Eric Gustafsson, finally we got a goal from a defenseman. Our defensemen start to chip in. We've got a lot of defensemen that I guess just want to pass the puck and get it out of our zone, but we finally got one that wants to score. Now with 10 minutes to go in the period, it is even. Huge. Oh my God, the pressure is on. The rest of this period could decide the rest of this series. Charlie McAvoy and then Marchand shorts the empty netter. And we are down now 3-1. I don't know who might have been the minus in that. Oh my God, it was the first line. Huge. Dahlin and Montour. I got to take Montour off and put Eric Gustafsson up on that top line. He did score. I'm not going to touch the third pairing, but I am going to touch this right here. Would Schultz be a better pairing to Dahlin? Maybe. We'll try Schultz up there. He's a +13, so I really just got to give him some extra ice time. He seems to be playing quite well. Hopefully we can get some offense sparked here. Our season's over if we don't win. We need to win the rest of the games available. These next 3 games we have to win. We dropped one at home that we couldn't afford to lose. After putting up 7, we lose 5-3. Huge game number 5. This will decide the Stanley Cup, obviously. Obviously, that's, what am I saying? Stanley Cup is in the building, boys. We do not want to see it raised. We will not want to see the Stanley Cup raised before game number 7. That is just how it is. First period, and we're up 1-0. Eric Stahl, the Magic Man, keeps us alive in 18-6 in shots. In the second period, Boston comes out and absolutely blitzes us. But Iginla keeps it close. Iginla gives me that glimmer of hope. Come on, boys. We're down by 1. Somebody put it in for us. Iginla taking it into his own hands and equalizes for us. Now we get a power play and Di Giuseppe on the power play. We still got the power play and the Magic Man gets us a 2-goal lead. The insurance marker we needed. Lawson, Krause, everybody's scoring. When we score, we seem to do it a lot. 6-3. We get another power play. Can we get another? That's it. That's over. 6-3. And we live to fight another day. Now, if anybody was a minus, I'm going to be upset because it was a 6-3 win. I mean, we did score, 2 power play goals? So that's okay. 3-2 in the series, a solid 6-3 win. We scored. We're not really keeping Boston quiet. Our first line is not necessarily a defensive first line. I was thinking about taking Braden Point off of it, but he's 23 points in 21 games. I just can't. We're back at home with a chance to keep ourselves alive and force a game number 7, put us in position to maybe lift the cup and not just prolong Boston's victory. Let's do it, boys. Let's put ourselves in the position to win. Let's grab the momentum. Let's take this by the throat. First period. Danton Heinen scores. Okay, that's okay. Pretty much even. 1-0. They just beat us once. It's okay. Maybe get a power play. Oh, come on, boys. I put the offensive talent up there for a reason. Second period. They're going to extend with Manson, but Point. Good decision to keep him on the first line. It is 2-1. Can we battle back again? First 5 minutes still in Boston's favor. Shots are now in our favor. They keep going up for us. We get a power play. And Kasperi Kapanen on the power play equalizes. Okay, 2-2. Oh, and Torrey Krug on the power play as I just elbow my mic. 3 minutes. No, 2 minutes. 1 minute. And that's all she wrote. Boston is going to win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. Props to Tuukka Rask. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I mean, this team maybe wasn't ready to win it. We didn't have enough. I mean, Boston's team is just stacked. I'm sorry, but their team is just, it just is. We were played a really, really great game. I think we do need to go ahead and get a better goaltender. Pecorine played great, but I think he might have fallen off there towards the end of the season, or towards this end of the series. 925, he did kind of drop off. He was playing absolutely out of his mind to start. I can't remember what his stats were before the series. Stahl played well. Kreider, defenseman-wise, Dahlin, Miller. Wow, Miller came alive in that series. Schultz did well. Gustafsson, Montour, man, I don't know if you're gonna get another contract. I mean, did you play? I mean, he played okay with us, right? During the regular season, yeah, he had 6 points in 32 games. It was even. We might keep Miller around to play on that third pairing, but I don't know about Montour. We could use the cap space. Let's go ahead and double check what we need to do here. Expiring contracts seem to be Stahl. Stahl's going to get another 1 year probably, unless it's ridiculous. Ooh, that's tough. That's a lot of money for Stahl. Montour's a UFA. He does not want too much money, but I think I'd rather spend the money elsewhere. We have only 12 million, but really it's only defensemen. Pekarine's expiring. He's probably going to drop off significantly, and he wants 2 years. Thomas Greiss was a fine backup. I would give him the 2. Let's see here. What would I give him? Maybe 2.25. I'll give him that contract extension now. But that's it. That's all we're going to do now. I'll just simulate to the draft in the next one, guys. But make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys at the off season.